everybody, I'm Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. I am so excited about today's card because it's a fun flap. I really enjoy creating fun flap cards. I just think they're a little unique. I think when people get them, they get very excited because it's just a little out of the ordinary. I think you're going to enjoy today's card, so I say we get started with our stamping. Guys, today's Make It in Minutes card is so fun and so fast. Let's go over the cardstock and designer series paper measurements. I'm going to start with a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock. This is cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. On top of that, we're going to layer a piece of Whisper White. Now my Whisper White is a little bit different size. It's actually 5 1/4 by 8 inches, scored at 4 inches. And you can see that's going to layer right there on top of the Blackberry Bliss. Now on top of this, we're going to add some designer series paper. It's cut the same size as my Whisper White, so it's going to cover that up. My designer series paper is the Peaceful Poppies, and I have that one cut 4 by 5 1/4. Now we're going to talk about the two pieces that we need for the flap. This is where things are going to go a little different. So every flap is going to be different based on the size of your sentiment. So real quick, let me show you how you're going to decide what size you're going to cut for your sentiment and for your flap. So my sentiments came from the Rooted in Nature stamp set. I just thought these sentiments were fabulous. I'm going to go thinking of you for this card. So you're going to want to start by picking out your sentiment. So I'm going to bring in my grid paper because there's a ruler on it, so that makes it nice and easy. So I'm going to lay my sentiment here in the corner. So there's my 1 inch marking starting at 1, and I can see that the measurement for this sentiment will probably be about 2 1/2 by 2 inches. All right, so I'm going to cut my piece of cardstock 2 by 2 1/2. Now here I've gone ahead and stamped it so you can see what I was talking about. I've got my sentiment. It's going to fit perfectly in that piece of cardstock. Now for the flap, it's going to need to be bigger. So let me show you how I'm going to decide to do that. So here's my sentiment, 2 by 2 1/2. So I want to layer that. So on the up and down, we want to add 1/4 inch. So this Blackberry Bliss will be 2 1/4. And then here I stopped at 2 1/2 inches. I need to add 1 inch. So I'm just going to go 3 1/2 inches. I know it sounds like a lot of math, but it really isn't. Let me just layer this on here so that you can see that's what we need. We just need a little flap over here, and we need this to be able to center up on the 3 sides over on the left-hand side. Hey, while we've got this here, let's go ahead and adhere our sentiment because that's going to allow me to show you how to create the flap. So I'm going to add that right over here, left side. Again, you can see centering it up on these 3 sides. Now this area here, I'm going to come in with a bone folder, and you can use a stylus tool, your take your pick tool, any of those things will work. And I'm scoring right along. I'm actually using that Whisper White as a guide to help me score that, and that is going to give me that flap. I can give that a nice crease. There is my flap. Yeah, it's really that easy. I promise it's not a difficult thing at all. And this measurement does not have to be exact, so don't let that stress you out. All right, guys, are you ready? We're really ready to put this card together. When I said we're going to make it in minutes, I was not joking. So I'm going to take my designer series paper and I'm going to add this to the front of my Whisper White card. I'll tell you, it pains me to put adhesive on that side because that paper is so pretty. So we are going to just adhere this right here, line everything up onto our Whisper White. And now we're going to add that to the Blackberry Bliss. This is nice because it gives it that really great pop of color back behind it. Love that. See, there we go. Are you ready? We're going to add this flap. It's so easy. Let me flip it over. We have got this little flap area. That's where the adhesive needs to go. So we need to be a little aggressive with the adhesive because, you know, it's a flap and we want to make sure it doesn't fall off. So I'm going to make sure I have adhesive all over that. You're going to lay this on your card, decide where you want your flap to go, and I'm simply just pressing it, making sure that that's good and straight. And then I give that a little back rub on the back. Guys, it's that easy. All right, now this needs a little extra love. And so I added a little Poppy Parade ribbon up here in the corner. I simply added that with a mini glue dot, but I thought it really brought out the Poppy Parade here in the card. It really is a super sweet addition. And again, just kind of gives some extra dimension to the card. And there you go. Oh, I said it would be made in minutes, and it was a very, very quick but a unique card. Now, many of you do ask me, but Connie, you didn't do anything on the inside. I have to tell you, many times on a card like Thinking of You, I don't know what I want to say on the inside until I'm ready to send this card, because this might be a Thinking of You, get well. This may be a sympathy. This might just be, I hope you're doing well. I do like to leave those blank until I'm actually ready to go. Hey, let me show you another sample. This is another card I did. And this one, the sentiment is from the same Rooted in Nature stamp set. And I just said, you are wonderful. And you notice the size of that sentiment is different than my Thinking of You. I did the exact same thing. I just measured my sentiment and then cut my cardstock and my Blackberry Bliss to match. I hope you were inspired by today's cards. Hey, if you were, would you give me a thumbs up on YouTube? I always appreciate that. And if you'd like to see more information about the cards, be sure to check out the YouTube description. There's a link where you can see everything about it, and you can order any of the supplies that you need so that you can get to creating. Thank you again for being here, everybody. Have a fabulous day. I look forward to stamping with you again soon. Bye-bye.